And good evening, Possibility Wars fans. It is August 21st, 2022, and we're still playing about 6 months into the war, 8 months into the war in 2017. Can you believe that? I wanted to stick with the year that the game came out because I feel it's important to kind of move from that time forward. I've got books ordered, I've got cards ordered from this latest Kickstarter for Pan-Pacifica. I've got the digital package that has already kind of begun coming in the way of previews and stuff like that. I cannot wait to get all of the stuff from Tharcold, Aurorsh, and Pan-Pacifica integrated into my system so that I can use it all against my players. Alright, so last week we were supposed to get into Act 2, and we did not. Because the whole evening was spent in investigative stuff and everything like that I did not consider when dealing with the adventure. So that became an impromptu part of the adventure. Hopefully you had fun with that little investigative bit, hearing everything that was going on there. You might hear it again tonight, so we'll see how things go. For now, however, I think it's time for us to join the game. So welcome, here we go. Alright, and we're back. So, do you guys kind of want to go through? We'll start with Ross this time. Go through and see what you remember from last week.
Well, I'm chewing food, so...
You're chewing food? What? Okay, we'll see about maybe coming back to you. Remy, what do you think?
I know the work on trying to get Chess back on at least someone's good side in the group, and they're at least on amicable terms with Nightbird. They trust Nightbird, but not everybody else in the group.
And who is that doesn't trust everybody in the group? Chess?
That'd be Chess.
Oh, okay. I missed that part.
No, you're good.
Anything you remember from y'all's investigation from last week?
Not as much.
Okay. All right. Catalia, Catherine, what do you know?
For the most part, what's already been explained. We managed to get in contact with Chess, and we were going to try and figure out, like, his side of the story and figure out where to go from there.
Okay.
Because, he knew more about this going into it than we did. So we should, show him what we found on the flash drive, in my opinion, and see what he knows and pull our info and move forward.
Well, if I recall correctly, Nightbird managed to get a dead drop package to Chess, including a copy of that thumb drive. So Chess has taken it and will be analyzing the stuff, but he's a man on the run. And the Cyber Church he's believing that the Cyber Church is after him to figure out what's going on and potentially repatriate him. So he is keeping as low a profile right now as he possibly can. All right, Peaches.
Managed to get the message that we were trying to contact Chess. So that we could continue our investigation. Now, one of the things we do know is that the ninjas were hunting for something, and Chess was maybe also sent out to find these plaques and that this family that used to work in the East India Trading Company used to own. So. Yep. It's in our best interest to find them before Kanawa or the Cyberpope does. Since all these Storm Raiders were sent to try to find them, and they killed the family that had the information on the Stevens family, which we have in this book and on the thumb drives. What do the thumb drives tell us? We never got into that, I don't think.
Well, we'll get into that in just a minute. Let me find out what Chris remembers, and then we'll kind of recap that a little bit. Okay. So, first off, do you remember anything else that happened last week?
The Nightbird helped one of the ninjas with seppuku, an honorable death.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't remember much beyond that.
Okay.
I think he got some willing cooperation from him for an honorable death, but that's all I know.
Yeah. And you are not wrong.
What I clearly remember last week is, we wrapped up combat, went over advancement, then we kind of not later round, but got, started researching and whatnot, and I mainly focused on the card and finding out where who they was the Kanawa Corp and what's their branch here was what I remember.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And also I helped with the computering of making the request to Chest anonymous.
Yes. Yes, you guys did a really great job last week about being able to use your previous contacts from another adventure to help you get a message to Chess, and he decided to agree with you guys to help you out. From Chess's perspective, he is just really, really grateful that you're there to help him, because he was telling the truth. Maybe not the whole truth. There's more to it, but that's something that you may be able to discover in, either tonight or in the next few gaming sessions. Now, let's see. The stuff that was on the thumb drive that you guys are able to kind of look at just corroborates the journal entry from the book that Peaches took out of the Parkhurst house. And it went a little bit further than that. Let me see. What do I have? I think I already shared this. Let me see if I share it again. Okay, that's not going to help you guys. Well, I can show you guys this, but you've already seen it. It just helps you to know that there is, a place in Ohio, I think it is. Do I have to read this again? Yeah, Ohio or Iowa. Doggone it, I can't remember. I did my review and I still can't remember. But anyway, where the most likely location of the map tiles are. Okay, for some of the stuff that you've learned about these tiles already. So now, last week you also did some really good investigative work about the Cherry Blossom Research Park, which of course came from the address on both of the cards from Yamoto and from the ninja. You guys, no, the ninja that dropped the card out of its pocket on the yard that Chris picked up. And so I managed to read you some stuff about that last week. I do not have a map made up of what that campus looks like. All I can do is kind of describe it to you. Again, it has like a big football-shaped planter that's probably, 20 meters long and 12 or 13 meters wide. And it has all kinds of trees and flowers and stuff from various places. I'll give you this bit because it doesn't matter anyway. But each of the various tenants of the 5 buildings that are in the Cherry Blossom Research Park were encouraged to bring plants, which usually is not a good thing, but in this case, they were allowed to do it. They were given permission to do it. Bring plants from their home nation to put into the clean soil that's there, and it has managed to blossom into a really beautiful little planter. There is grass around the buildings in most spots. But the entrances, of course, are going to have big concrete slabs, and there's a big, beautiful sidewalk that leads directly away from the parking lot. And at the opposite end of the park from the parking lot is the Kanawa building. Okay, they even say it's Kanawa Corporation. If you guys need me to, I can read any of those descriptions again. I'm not going to do it unless you need me to, but that'll kind of keep things going. Any questions before we pick up? Okay.
Yes,
Do we-
Sniper. What did the ninja tell you about this Kanawa building? Why are we here?
Were you asking Nightbird?
He didn't
Or Chris, was it the card that you picked up?
had it on their persons,
Mhm.
and they're ninjas trying to kill us. And what's their relation to this place?
But then you found that K inside of a circle. Now, why would these guys be carrying business cards or any kind of cards? You could potentially find that out later. Okay, because the technology is a little bit higher than core Earth's. It's high enough that that you can have like biometric readers off of various materials. They don't have to be like glass or anything like that. So that technology is high enough to do that. Any other questions?
Ooh, I just remembered we were told that we would be put in contact with some manner of monster hunter from the church before.
Yes, that's true, but that's going to take some time.
Gotcha.
I mean, think about it for a second. The priest that showed up, per your earlier request, took a couple of days. So the quote-unquote monster hunter type priest is going to be a little bit different. And I don't know, it might be Vin Diesel that shows up, or at least his character from what was the name of that movie? The last witch hunter.
I think so, yeah.
There you go.
That's it.
You'll have that was a good movie. I enjoyed that movie, but you might have somebody similar to that show up with an equally bad attitude. So you never want that. But so. What is y'all's next move? Are you indeed going to go to Cherry Blossom Research Park, or do you have some other things that you want to do?
I can't quite think of anything else we would do.
Well, weren't we going to investigate the scene and see try and figure out what kind of monster we might be dealing with?
Well, but here's the question: who said you were going to be dealing with a monster? Or are you confusing the request for a monster hunter priest with
confusing storylines?
Well, there you go. Okay, where am I at? There I am. All right, so then I'm just going to go ahead and get into Act 2. Let me kind of do my Act 2 thing. Act 2, Kanawa Calling. Scene 1, Cherry Blossom Research Park. Okay, yes, I did funky cards for all of this stuff, and want you guys... I've been trying to advance my knowledge of video stuff for a while, and I've learned to do some new tricks. Okay, let's see. All right. The unexpected and unwarranted attack by ninjas, no less, at the Parkhurst residence got your brains working overtime about what you might be looking for, and, based on the evidence you collected, each of you kind of came to a conclusion of how to find it. The Cherry Blossom Research Park was completed less than a month before the war began, and the buildings were filled with tenants from all around the world prior to the grand opening. Research grants, tax breaks, and the desire of the Tennessee government to expand the tech base of the state and keep it relevant made it easy and inviting for folks of all types to take up residence for their own research purposes. Everyone in the local area knows about the park. Several interns from area schools have been hired, and everything seems to be above board all around, so no person or agency has had reason to give the place a second look. There have been no accidents or issues with staff or projects. Everyone in charge at the park has everything documented and approved. No one's been accused of or arrested for committing illegal activities, and the place is already beginning to show innovations coming forward, making the local area attractive to folks looking for a place to move and to grow with their families. So, there's nothing, there are no articles that you guys can find about anything negative going on at the research park. As a matter of fact, everything you find is like overwhelmingly positive. It's like a Yelp it's like a Yelp page, if you will, where you get these corporations and these individuals who will go on there with multiple different accounts and they'll type up all of this positive stuff. It's like an orgy of positive evidence. But the difference is, instead of going to other places on the internet and actually finding corroborating evidence outside of the same copies of the same comments in those areas, you actually find that there's really no problem with the Cherry Blossom Research Park. So why go there? Because your only lead has to do with Kanawa Corporation. What you might find there, you don't know. Okay? And again, about the only person who's going to know what's going on with Kanawa Corporation right now is Nightbird. And she can probably tell you that Kanawa Corporation really has, Pan-Pacifica really has invaded the planet, but they've done so in such a low-key way, except, of course, for the zombie outbreak. They've done it in such a low-key way that nobody can really tell. And if you tried to talk to anybody, including the Delphi Council, and say, guess what? Pan-Pacifica is a bad guy, Delphi Council is going to kind of take a seat back and go, okay, sure. And then they're going to make sure that they check it out themselves, whereas everybody else, the mainstream media, the governments of the world, et cetera, they're like, no, Kanawa Corporation is just a large benevolent organization. They've been doing some really great stuff for the planet, and of course they've kept the zombie outbreak limited to the Asian Pacific Islands that are there. And so we really have no complaints. As long as they have begun to solve it, we don't care, So before we really get to the research park, though, I've got a few questions to ask you. One, are there any other questions about all of the data that I've just given to you guys?
Not that I can think of.
I'm still not sure what we think we can accomplish by entering the Kanawa building.
Well,
Nightbird, what are your suspicions of bringing us here?
They were hired probably by the Kanawa Corporation because they're carrying these business cards. So they're either hired or associated with them. So you need to find out, what their ties are, and if it's suspicious that they're here doing something in a fancy research part, where they're probably hiding something under plain sight kind of deal. It's like a ninja would be, stealthily doing something while pretending to be something else.
Now, why would they come after us? Or why would they kill the Douglases?
Well, they're probably seeking the same tablet information. It's probably another race of different organizations all trying to do the same thing. Get to the prize first. So.
But does that mean they wouldn't have it yet?
And because we interfered, they came to assassinate us.
Oh.
And they didn't expect me. They expected to slay all of you and not have me there. So I'm I guess what you would call a hold in their side, a some kind of something they didn't see coming, maybe.
Well then, what's the plan? What do you want to do?
Well, my point of getting Chess's help is because of the high tech nature of the facility, and if these cards have biometric, or if they might be a passkey or something. So with the leader dead, we can't use his imprint. Like his hand isn't gonna work because he's dead. So and Chess is obviously he was on the mission to acquire some of this as well originally, and now that he's not doing the work for the Pope, he might be willing to help us. In exchange for helping him. So I know he's going to be laying low some, but we still might be able to get him to help hack in if we need to, or if we get inside and we can't get access to something, maybe he can help make that happen. So I want to have him kind of in our back pocket as a ally helping hand.
So Chess might be your man in the chair.
Yep.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay then.
So that was the idea of all that. So we're going to have to decide how we want to approach this, because if we just go walking right into the facility, it's probably got security cameras and things. It's probably personnel there. We don't know what kind of, whether they have people there all times in the day or only during the day, or so we're gonna have to probably do some observation and checking around and try not to draw too much attention to ourselves.
Now, it's up to you guys how you're going to not draw too much attention to yourselves. You just have to let me know what it is you want to do. But it is important.
Have you met us?
Yeah. Yeah. But the question is, can you be covert? Okay. Can you figure out a different way, perhaps disguises, stuff like that?
Do they allow tourists in the building?
You know what? As a matter of fact, the website for the building says that they do offer tours of everything up to their sealed laboratories. Of course, you would look through glass. The laboratory is going to remain sealed, but things like that. Personnel areas and stuff like that, you wouldn't have access to, but the general workings of the facility, you can get like minor tours and stuff there. Those are actually offered.
How about if that doesn't work for you, Nightbird, to get us into access, how about we go in as a group of fire inspectors, or fire doors, fire extinguishers, fire escape routes.
Well, what if we make it a two-part invasion so that if one group gets caught, the other group still has a chance?
Way too quickly. When Ginger mentioned being like fire inspectors, I just said it's like we're gonna mess that up way too quickly for that to even be viable.
Okay.
we got somebody from the Middle Ages. We got an elf. We've got a samurai, and you have me, who's just an aerospace engineer with superpowers.
I have an idea.
Okay.
What if we make it like a two-pronged invasion? One of us tries to get escorted in professionally as some kind of inspector or whatever, and then the other half of the group tries to come in as tourists. That way, if one group gets caught, the other group still has a chance to, go through and look around at stuff.
Well, here's a question. It's only been about 12 hours, maybe not even that, since the ninja attack. Okay. If they, as was posited by Nightbird, if these guys were hired by Kanawa to get that information, then their defeat would likely not be known to at least the Cherry Blossom Research Park facility, probably for another day. Okay, so you guys might have a little bit of time, but you are definitely on a time limit.
Sure. So why don't I ask Captain Bouchard if he can get us like fire inspection IDs for a couple of us who wants to do the fake fire inspection, something that my character has actually done before. And I play this Delphi support card to get us all properly outfitted and bona fides.
Okay. Well, you know what? This is up to you guys. What do you guys think about this? I mean, are you willing to go in costume, not wearing what you normally wear? And would Artorias be going with you guys? For that matter, would Nightbird be going with you?
Yeah, Nightbird, what do you want to do? How do you want to get in the building?
Honestly, it's just going right in. That's all. But I was going to try and do it quietly.
Mm-hmm. I think we're all in kind of an agreement that it needs to be done quietly.
Well, but no, I was going to go in like a ninja. That was mine.
Now, wait a minute. You're a samurai. You're opposite of ninja, but you were going to try and go in like a ninja?
Ooh.
Irony.
You have stealth, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
No, I have a hacker in my back pocket. I don't know. I don't even know. Did I even take still?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did. 2 ranks that.
Yes, I didn't originally, but I do now.
Okay, so are you guys telling me that you want to go in during the daytime?
Yeah, I want to do it at night because I want to really poke into things I probably shouldn't poke in.
Well, I'm sorry.
But-
Is it still night now?
Well, no, it's morning time now. So, I mean, do you want to go today and get there within a couple hours so that you can kind of take a look at the facility, or do you all want to go at night and try things that way? And before you tell me that you want to go at night, I want you guys to think about the track record y'all have.
Well, technically, this is pretty much a new party.
Okay, how about your track record in the previous act, in Act 1 of this of this adventure?
We went somewhere and combat broke out.
Well, you know, that's not wrong necessarily. Just want to kind of give you guys an opportunity to think your way through it.
I'm thinking if we can get, Arturios fireplace, fireman's helmet and jacket, and put our equipment, say, in a EMS bag, one that's labeled fire safety, and
Mm-hmm.
Level bag.
Yeah, and we try to look like, same old, same old. It is the state of Tennessee. We have, core earth safety inspections to do.
Mm-hmm.
And this would be a surprise fire extinguisher
Inspection.
thing. Inspection. We go through the maintenance door. We ask for maintenance. That way we don't have to deal with any kind of public interface. We deal with one guy, hopefully, who can show us around the whole building. And someone who would be easy enough to overpower if we had to.
Okay. All right. Anybody got any additions to that or questions about it, about how it would work? Because I've got to be honest with you, it sounds like a good alternative to me.
Yeah.
While we're checking the extinguishers, probably should check and have an automated, like, extinguishing system or whatever, like sprinklers or the
Halon?
the fire, yeah, whatever it's called.
Okay.
Yeah, all of it.
Do you guys think that
You know what you're looking at? I'm just like, yeah, okay.
Actually,
And,
okay, hold on a second. Catherine, what'd you have to say?
do you guys think that we should try and request access to the security room to do a test of the alarms? Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Oh.
yes.
Okay.
A fire, or make it a mandatory fire drill.
To see if everyone follows proper procedure, of course.
Of course.
Of course. We have laws in this state.
How could you guys take that one step further to make it more credible?
Have
Perhaps
Nightbird actually start a fire?
No. I'm not talking about necessarily within yourselves.
Huh?
I'm not talking about necessarily within yourselves. What could you do?
Have them make a schedule or, make an official fire check.
But is it just for the Kanawa building?
Oh, for everybody.
Yeah, we should go around to other large businesses in the area and go through the same procedure before coming to Kanawa so that we have, like, a report sheet of, we visited XYZ place, we visited that place, we did everything absolutely legitly. Of course we're legit.
Exactly, but how many buildings are there in the research park?
Oh, yeah, there's more than one building. The whole complex.
Mm-hmm.
A complex-wide fire drill.
So, I don't know about a complex-wide fire drill, but maybe, if I might suggest, building by building?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, over the 2-hour drive, if you guys are ready to go, then if you're not ready to go, let me know. What's that?
On the building by building is going to take a while.
Yes, that's exactly the point, though, if you think about it. Okay, so it's still kind of morning time. It's about beginning into late morning.
That'd be the perfect time for a fire drill to start if it's going to take all day.
Well, here's the problem. You haven't left the Delphi warehouse facility yet, or the police station, so it's going to take about an hour and a half, 2 hours to get to this location, okay? Because it's not it's not in the town you're in, which name I have completely forgotten. Doesn't matter, not important. I measured it, and it did the whole Google Maps thing, and it was about an hour and a half away. So
is it in the same county?
No, it's in the same state, but not the same county.
All right.
Actually, it's away from the living land a little bit. You remember how I was telling you that the living land boundary is really not that far away from Memphis. That's what it was, Memphis. Okay, so but this research park is deeper into the state, westwise. So um, anyway, this might take a little bit of work, but during the time that you're in the vehicle on your way to the research park, uh, you Peaches has an opportunity to kind of go over what the various things are that you might encounter in these high-tech buildings, as far as like halon extinguishers, your water extinguishers, what different types of fire extinguishers there are, the alarm systems and how they work for fire, everything like that. You guys can get a basic knowledge out of that so that you don't sound like complete idiots. Okay.
And
Hmm?
and some of the lingo real quick. I coach and Artorias and Rios and Andon specifically. I figured Nightbird probably knows more than I do, or he could just internet it as he goes. Same with Chris.
Well, I want you to
He
think
does.
about this for a moment. Okay. Are there any elves in the United States of America that you know of? Or I
Probably not.
should say the disrupted states of America, now that the living land has taken over both coasts.
Yeah, well, that's why Arturius will be in gear with a helmet on his head.
Did you propose that to him?
I am doing so now. Arturius, are you up for this?
This is a human? That sounds like fun to me. Let's just make sure it fits.
I'm not quite sure, but you would probably have water bearers in your country, wouldn't you?
Well, yes, but it's a bit different, I guess you could say. Not exactly the same, but yes.
Yes,
we
but
would.
in this case, our population is so dense that sometimes our water bearers check out buildings, particularly new ones, incidentally, to make sure that they are safe.
Fascinating.
So, would you be up for this ruse? Because it is a ruse that we will be employing trickery and trying to be in and out successfully, quickly, and get all the information we can.
Okay.
Well, some of us will be actually going through the motions of a fire inspection. I'll depend on Chris, and Nightbird to do the braking systems.
Mm-hmm.
But Rios will get you outfitted like an office inspector with a lanyard and badge and a little navy suit and government heels.
Oh, wonderful clothes shopping.
And Anton and Arturius should probably be in full firefighter's kit, and I'll probably be in the polo, with the clipboard, and pretend Rio's the boss. Meanwhile, I'll be walking her through the inspection. Our crew theoretically is supposed to go into the security. Chris and Nightbird go into the security booths and stuff to start the drill. Andon, Arturius, Peaches, and Rios, we nominally do the, I guess you could say, head count, make sure everyone is out the building. We make whoever's in charge fill out paperwork. We distract them.
Okay.
And demand the nickel tour while we, log. Oh yes, these are halon extinguishers. Oh yes, this is a fire extinguishing gas system. This is that. Okay.
This is so and so meters from this location where a fire could happen.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Who's the fire marshal on your floor? Or is everyone accounted for? Next floor. This kind of thing. Meanwhile, hopefully giving Nightbird and Chris plenty of time to do a little electronic B&E. Maybe?
Maybe we'll have to figure that out as we're going along. Okay, so Peaches, are you going to use that Delphi support card?
Yes.
Let's read it first. Why don't you share it first?
Okay.
Or show to players. Yeah.
How do I show?
Click on the card itself. Oh, wait a minute. Are you using the standard layout of cards or using the enhanced layout?
I have no idea.
Look at the very top of your screen. There we go.
Show to all play. Okay.
Okay, so gain a +5 bonus to a test to requisition equipment. Alternatively, play in the field to find a Delphi Council cargo box in the area. Make a normal persuasion test. The GM chooses an appropriate level or appropriate item of that value level or less to place in the box. Okay, you know what? I'm going to allow you to use this card for what it's not supposed to be used for. But
this is but we're at a Delphi outpost. This is using the first sentence, not the second.
Right.
Not the alternative.
I understand that.
We're requisitioning equipment. Okay, good.
I understand that. Whew. So give me a persuasion +5. Oh.
Can I spend on this if I have to?
If you have to, yeah. If you have to. And don't forget, you're not in rounds, so you can use cards out of your hand.
Right. So. Do I have persuasion?
If you don't, persuasion should be based on charisma.
Here it is. I do. So it's skilled at least.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just
that's a good thing.
Good at it.
So in the 3 lines, in one of the 3 lines that's at the bottom of the skill box, once you pop that open, just put requisition, and then in the box to the right of that, put 5.
Effect 5?
Yeah. And the difficulty number on this is a 10. Okay, it's just a standard difficulty number. Because you're going for clothes and badges and stuff like that. So, okay, that's not too bad. That's a good success. 16 versus a 10, so that's good.
Anybody want to add we want to,
okay, I'm going to say this right now. With a good success, the likelihood is you're going to be taken seriously. Now, do you want it to seem like it's ironclad, including Delphi support for phone calls and for references and stuff like that if the guys at any of these 5 buildings decide to call out?
Yeah, I'm going to add this +3 willpower. It's add 3 to a charisma, mind, or spirit roll.
Okay, well, go ahead and play the Delphi support card, and then go ahead and play that +3.
Okay. Delphi. Play it.
Okay, and then your +3.
All right. Play the willpower.
Now Now, wait a minute. Hold on. I might be getting that card back to you. When you click on the +3 card on your good success card, it's only going to give you an action total of 19, which is not quite an outstanding success. Does anybody have a supporter card? Or even something that could be traded to Ginger to make it just out of this world. I'll tell you this, with the good success, you're probably going to get some bonuses or some things that are going to be easier to deal with or something like that. However, if you just want it ironclad where you basically walk in and you own the place, you might want to deal with a +3 card. Another +3 card.
Anybody?
I don't have a card that'd be able to help. I'm sorry.
+3 of what?
It would be a supporter card. It would give an additional +3 to what.
I have adrenaline.
Oh, an adrenaline would probably work. Yeah.
Yeah, I could trade you for it and play it.
What cards do you have that might entice Ross to trade you for that +3?
Well, I don't have to play this one because it's so freaking powerful. Master Plan. pick up
Ooh.
any card just played, or discard in exchange for this one. The recovered card may either replace a master plan in my pool or go straight to your hand. You may play the new card immediately. In other words, I could pick up the willpower again, or I could give this to you for your action card and say you can make him, you can make the game master switch a card, or you can pick up any other card in the future.
Ginger, that's actually up to you. You know, if you want to trade off that card instead of using it right now, you can do that. Or you could just use it and get it done.
Well, Ross, do you think you'd find advantage here? Let me show this to you. Master plan.
Yeah, show it to all the players.
This is actually a very powerful card.
That's probably the most powerful card in the game as far as I'm concerned.
That was a cool card.
Yeah, you wanna hold on to it and give me the action card?
Yeah, I don't mind doing that.
Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise,
no.
Yeah. Otherwise, I was just going to use it to pick the willpower back up and play it again.
Yeah, and you're Penny Gonzalez, right?
Yes.
No.
Penny Gonzalez.
Passed to Nightbird.
Okay.
There you go.
And then you can throw that adrenaline card out right away, and that will get you an outstanding success. Where there are a lot of die rolls that for the team that are not going to have to be done because of how solid the work looks. So we'll do that +3 card. That'll give you a 22 versus a 10 standard. So you basically just kind of written your own ticket to get into the Kanawa building. Okay. So let me kind of do a little bit of reading. That was a good play, by the way. Very good play. The buildings of the research park stand out among the other structures of the area. Many of them outside the park are homes and older businesses, having existed there for a long time already, and the homes, at least, are mostly hidden by the tall vegetation surrounding their individual properties. The park looks good, with well-manicured lawns, plant beds, insets filled with rocks and or chipped wood, around brand new sidewalks, and a parking lot that serves the entire park. The place is bustling with activity on nearly all walkways around the buildings, which are arranged in a long ellipse away to the east of the nearly full parking lot. Few folks seem to remain inside, and on a beautiful day like this one, could they be blamed? Let's see. The spine of the park is really a wide concrete walkway leading into the buildings from the parking lot, split down the middle by a large football-shaped plant bed boasting beautiful colors of flowers and plants, mostly native to Tennessee, but you've got other stuff in there like I was telling you earlier. Each of the buildings' front corners match the corners of the next buildings to their left and right. So this is an equilateral area, okay? Very geometrically sound. Equal distance between the 5 of them of about 10 meters from corner to corner, so about 30 feet or so between buildings, with the tallest building among them at 4 stories in height, residing at the opposite end of the park from the car lot. So the Kanawa building is actually the tallest building in here at 4 stories. Okay. Do you guys want me to go over again what the various other buildings are, or just maybe give them titles?